Nice. Yeah. No, we push.
Hello everyone and welcome to Post-University Esports Rocket League. We are in NECC Week 5 action, coming to you live from the Post-University Esports Lab. My name is Coach Denny, and we are here with Nazmythh, BigSpence, and Kloa for the Eagles, and it's going to be Norgen, Philu, and Charlie coming out for Sherbrooke. So, should be a really good match tonight. Both of these teams are high in the standings, as you see almost the first goal coming in for Post. Norgen coming in with the last second save. Post at 4-0, undefeated on the season with 2 forfeit wins and 2 sweeps. And then we've got Université de Sherbrooke coming in at 3-1 on the season. Sherbrooke 4th in the standings right now, and Post at 2nd. So let's see if Post can stay undefeated here in the NECC and lock in their playoff spot for the spring 2026 season. Just under 4 minutes to play, still scoreless as BigSpence gets a nice clear out to Naz, who's looking for the redirect shot. Oh, Norgen with a save off the crossbar, but Naz is still in the box and gets the redirect pass right back to him and puts it in the back of the net. Post strike first here in this best of 7. Naz, good awareness, staying in the play and staying available for his teammates to pass to. 1-0 Post with 3:46 on the clock. As Charlie gets interrupted by BigSpence off the side. Well, that's awkward for Norgen. He does make a touch though. As Kloa bumps Philu off the back end of that one, but Naz gets beat by Charlie, and BigSpence can't get back in time. An unfortunate beat here in midfield. Charlie goes up real fast for that one and just barely gets it over the head of Nazmythh. And Spence was just a tad bit slow on the defensive rotation. And we are tied up at 1, 3:33 to play in game 1. Charlie with a 50. Good backboard defense by Naz. Cannot get another touch though, as Philu is there. Nazmythth with a demo. Kloa making the save out of boost. A little bit of miscommunication there. Probably should have left it for Naz. This BigSpence can't quite find the touch as a 50 in front of the post box, but it's going to go over into the corner. Nice pass by Philu, but Kloa gets there and prevents the shot. Norgen a little awkward there. Goes for kind of a weird pinch stall play. As Philu gets another 50 in front of the box with BigSpence. Norgen keeps it alive for Sherbrooke. Now Naz trying to take his time, but gets 50'd. Banger of a shot straight towards Kloa. And now Philu gets it over Spence. Down into the corner. Naz is there. Not get it past Norgen, who slams it off the post corner. A nice 50 by Kloa, though, to keep the pressure on for the Eagles. Gets it over 1. Norgen's there to put it back in the corner, though, for the Wolves. Oh, good fake there by Norgen. BigSpence has to come in and bail out Kloa. Philu's shot just wide. Naz has to be fast there to get the clear out. Tries to fake out Philu, but he's not buying it. And now Kloa pass to himself off the sidewall again, but Charlie is there. And Sherbrooke on the counterattack now. Naz backing into that one using his fender. Now Kloa, good save off the corner. Charlie, a light touch into the corner. Cannot get it past this Eagles defense. Still tied at 1, less than 2 to play now. Naz, tough read for everybody. Multiple misses, and now Kloa trying to get the 50 on Charlie. Doesn't work out as Charlie doinks it over 2, and now BigSpence into the corner. Ooh, Charlie can't make contact. Norgen tries to slow it down, but BigSpence reads it easily. And now Charlie off the ceiling to Norgen, going for a double. He gets it, and it's in front of the box. Charlie getting some bumps out, but Philu was too far away to take the shot. Now Naz off the backboard. That's going to come straight down. Awkward for Charlie. BigSpence shot is top bar and in as the Eagles take the lead in game 1. Nice pass by Naz. Charlie knew he had to go for that, but just didn't have enough boost to make the save. And now a minute And 11 seconds for Sherbrooke to tie this one up. There's Kloa. A little bit of a pre-flip. Gets an extra touch over one off the crossbar. And Origin comes in and gets the clear, though. And Sherbrooke escape that tricky situation that Kloa put them in. Kloa back down in front. Nice pass over to Philu by Norgin. Philu going to take it up the wall. Has got a full tank of boost. Passes it out mid to Norgin once again, but Nazmythh, great anticipation. Cuts in front of that pass. And now Kloa stalling for time in the corner. Can't get it past Charlie, but here's Naz. Good touch by Philu. That's going to be upfield to Kloa, who gets the doink over to Naz. A great interception there by Norgin in midair to prevent that shot. And now Philu and Charlie trying to dribble it around their own box. Now here's Charlie, another full tank of boost. Good setup off the sidewall. A nice air dribble. It's going to be top bar, but can't quite make contact with the back of the net. That was a really good looking setup there for Charlie, but just couldn't convert. And now Sherbrooke has to try to keep this one up. BigSpence going to keep it in Sherbrooke's half. Nice extra touch by Kloa, and the ball will fall to the ground, and Posts will take game one. BigSpence, 390 points, the MVP, 1 goal, 1 assist, and 1 save. Norgin, the MVP for Sherbrooke there with 337 points and 2 saves. 3 shots. Let's look at the shot count here. 6 for Post, 7 for Sherbrooke, so pretty even offensively across the board. So, as we take a look at the season standings here. Oops, there we are. Post in second place right now, and UDES is the team that has it listed on the scoreboard there in 4th place. As we get started with game 2 momentarily. See if Post can continue the momentum. A pretty close game 1. Historically, we have been a little slow to start in these best of 7s, taking a game or 2 to warm up, but things are looking good so far for the Eagles, especially on defense, only allowing 1 goal in that game. But a chance for Sherbrooke right off the rip here, but a nice clear and double touch by BigSpence. Get out in front of that one. Touch by Charlie. Kloa can't get it over Norgin, and now BigSpence has to get to this one with no boost and gets dunked by Norgin. But Post is finally able to get a nice clear and reset. Naz now with a shot, saved by Charlie, just barely dodging that bump attempt by, I believe that was BigSpence. Now Philu getting in front of this one. A little bit of a double commit for Post, but they're able to recover. Naz coming down here, bouncer shot. Easily read by Nazmythh off the backboard. Norgin shot, also saved this time by Kloa. Eagles scrambling a little bit, a big bump. But they're able to get the clear into the corner as Norgin gets bumped off of this one. Naz wisely keeps it in the corner. Here's Kloa seeing if he can get out in front of this one for an offensive push. Gets demoed off the ball, though. But that's going to leave the door open for a Nazmythh shot. Decides to send it way up to the ceiling. Kloa over to Philu. BigSpence cuts in front for the 50, but ball just kind of stalls out. Not a great flick from Charlie, and Naz is able to read it. Now Philu over into the corner. BigSpence going to stick around here. Get a nice 50 off the ceiling. Now it's Kloa's turn. Good pass midfield. Can Naz catch up to it? Nope, he's going to wait for Norgin's touch and try to 50. Now BigSpence off the ceiling, but a nice clear by Charlie. And that will give Sherbrooke some time to reset here. Oh, that's dangerous. Over to Norgin. Kloa can't read it. Demo in front of the box. But nobody on Sherbrooke had enough speed to make a powerful shot on net there. And Post survive. And now we see a shot from BigSpence just off the mark high. As Kloa gets bumped off of that one. Now Sherbrooke on the counterattack. Naz a little awkward. As BigSpence also gets demoed. That's right in front, and that's just an easy tap-in for Charlie. One person's awkward, and then the other person gets demoed. You know you're in trouble. No boost needed for that one. Charlie just taps it in, and Sherbrooke will strike first in Game 2 with post up 1-0 in the series, and Sherbrooke up 1-0 in the game. Spence gets it over 1 as we see lots of demos. One for each team flying in off of that kickoff. Now here's Naz coming down in front. Kloa. Good 50. Down in front. Shot off the post by BigSpence. That was almost a really nice angle. BigSpence as we see Nazmythh playing near post defense here. Philu's shot not on target, but it ends up being a pass to Charlie, but he can't quite read it. And now Naz to the skies. Got a nice first touch. Gonna try to 50 Norjan, but it doesn't work out. And Sherbrooke able to reset. Good job by BigSpence getting it around Sherbrooke. As a little awkward there, able to recover. Gets bumped off of this one though. Alright, here's Philu down the right side. Kloa getting bumped by Norjan out in front of this one. Can he recover? Yes, he can. Gets the 50. In front of the near post there. Now here's BigSpence. In the corner, can't get it past Norjan. Kloa clears it out once again. Eagles on the back foot a little bit here. As Naz with almost no boost somehow gets a touch on that one. Norjan gets it over 1, but BigSpence is there to support, but now it's going to be an open shot for Charlie, but BigSpence, great job getting up for that one. And thwarting the shot, which would probably have been in, as we see now BigSpence getting demoed by Norjan on the other end of that play. As Sherbrooke putting on a lot of pressure to post, and now here's Charlie with a shot, and Kloa somehow saves it with no boost. What an incredible save, keeping this one in reach for post. And now Kloa on the counterattack. He's got space and boost. 50s Philo. Gets it over Charlie, but Charlie able to get a little bit of touch. Oh, but that shot's on target by Naz, and it's in! Great transition there. Kloa making it happen with the save on the defensive end, and then the assist on the offensive end. Very nicely done by the Post University Eagles there, transitioning from defense to offense, and tying us up at 1 with 35 seconds to go. Naz gets the boost, but gets interrupted by Charlie. Kloa's going to have to read this one off the backboard, and he does. It's off the corner. Another 50 in midfield. BigSpence was caught in a flip there. Wasn't able to react in time. As Norjan defends his backboard. Naz cuts in front. Down in front for BigSpence. What a beautiful kiss off the front of his car. That was incredible. People who don't play Rocket League really don't understand how difficult this is. You are going in one direction, you are going to the right, and you want to shoot the ball to the left. It's extremely difficult. BigSpence did an amazing job there, just getting the exact touch he needed to put the ball where he knew it needed to go. And that's the go-ahead goal for your Post University Eagles with now 10 seconds to go. As Kloa taps it up for himself. Gets the flip reset. Over 1. Eagles just need to kill it now. And Norjan can't catch up to it. And Post wins the second game by the same score, 2-1, and we'll go up 2-0 so far in the series. Nazmythh the MVP that time, 470 points, 1 goal, 1 assist and 2 saves. Charlie the MVP for Sherbrooke, 436 points, 1 goal and 1 save. 8-7 on the shot count, so these teams extremely evenly matched. But Post just managing to barely come out ahead so far both times. Let's see if they can go to match point at the end of this one. We are in best of 7 territory tonight. So we'll see what happens. Post up 2-0 as we start off game 3. Philu with a good touch off the backboard. Down for Norjan. Double commit for Post, who was panicking a little bit. But Norjan's not able to get another touch there. Now Naz tries to push this ball at field with no boost. It's taken over by Charlie, who gets an additional touch. Ooh, luckily for Post, no shot there. That was very awkward for everyone involved. Nice 50 by Naz. That's going to be off the ceiling down in front. Philu forced to make a tough save. But he does. And Now Naz, once again, doesn't realize Charlie's out of boost. Does get demoed by Norgin. And that will allow Sherbrooke a little bit of breathing room. Another demo. As Charlie advancing this ball all the way upfield with 0 boost. It's finally cleared out to Naz. And in transition, Kloa not going to steal that one from Naz. He gets the goal. And Sherbrooke just committing a little bit too hard on the offensive end there. And easy transition goal for post. Shout out to everybody in chat. Love to see you in here, supporting the team. Appreciate it. Oh, nice pass out mid by Kloa, but BigSpence was getting boost and was not ready for the pass. Good clear there by Norgin. Gets an additional touch as well. But Naz keeps the pressure on for post. Good beat by BigSpence. He's in the corner, but Charlie gonna tap it up to himself. Off the sidewall, but can't make contact. Norgin has to come in here, but now he's out of boost. And Nazmythh can extend it. Downfield, nice redirect by Kloa, but Philu was ready, but it's still in there. And Naz's shot is in. Top bar. You can see just by this extra touch from Kloa there, redirecting at Philu got really awkward. Had to make a touch because it was on target, but then he was still airborne by the time Naz got there and wasn't able to adjust in time to make save number 2. And we see that that is often the case in Rocket League. It's often not the first shot that goes in, but it forces the defense to make a play. And then the rebound or the second shot is the one that goes in. But things are dangerous here for post, but luckily for the Eagles, nobody there from Sherbrooke able to take a shot. Double demos here as BigSpence not able to respawn in time. Very nice physicality coming out that time from Sherbrooke. Kloa caught flipping there. I don't think he even realized that both of his teammates got demoed while he was flipping there and wasn't able to recover in time to turn and get the save. It is really, really heartbreaking when you realize both your teammates get demoed at the same time and you're the only one on the pitch. Very tough situation to be in. But Sherbrooke do cut into the lead. And now Kloa with a very nice air dribble. Majestic air dribble all the way across his own net. Now Naz with a nice clear. Back down to himself. Norgin in the corner now picks up the boost. He's got a decent setup, but can't really do much else. Now here's Kloa. Good pinch off the sidewall. A little pre-flip into this one. Pass down mid, but BigSpence was not anticipating the extra touch from Kloa. Plus, I think he got bumped into it a little bit. As Naz trying to go for the ceiling pinch there. And now Post in trouble. The flick by Philu is just off the mark, though. And Post have to try to reset now. Nobody able to get a touch. Kloa slowing things down, gets the flick into the corner. Gets the additional touch, but gets demoed by Philu. And now Norgin trying to get something going for this Sherbrooke offense. Ooh, nice touch there by Kloa. Was stuck in a bad position, but made the best of it. Getting the ball back in the corner. Charlie. Cleared by Naz. And now Naz turned to get physical. Picking up the demo on Philu. And now Kloa to the skies. Didn't get the flip reset there, but is still able to get the extra touch and send it downfield. Norgin and Naz up for this one. Now Charlie, with 0 boost, puts a shot on net, but it's too slow to pose any real danger. But Sherbrooke putting on a good amount of offensive pressure to post here, forcing their response. Post still up by 1, a little over a minute to play here. Kloa with a good 50, but that's going to leave it for Charlie. He's got wide open space, but hit the ball a little bit too hard on his first touch, and Naz able to intercept in midair. Now we see another demo by Charlie. Great touch by Kloa, though. As Charlie hits this one down, Kloa just going to clear it right out. And a beautiful beat by Naz. He beats 2. That's a massive double commit for Sherbrooke, and that's going straight into the net. Great speed by Nazmythh there, taking advantage of the mistake from Sherbrooke. You never want to have multiple players going for the same ball unless you're doing some kind of really specific niche team pinch play or something. But outside of that, you do not want that to happen. called a double commit. It's very bad, because then it usually leaves your net wide open if anything goes wrong. But now we see BigSpence from his office, just deflected by Norgin. Yes, good touch here. He's going to be able to get in front of this one, but it's 50'd by Philu. BigSpence's pass over to Kloa, going for a double, but Norgin reads it off the backboard. Cuts in front, but Post no. They're up by 2. All they have to do is stall for time, or maybe get one more. No, it's off the post. And now with time ticking down, Sherbrooke's hopes are also ticking down here in this game 3. Charlie going for one last double, but it's not on target, and the ball would hit the ground. And Post will advance to match point with a 3-1 scoreline this time, not the 2-1 that we've seen in both of the other games. Now as the MVP, a hat trick there, 499 points. All 3 goals for Post off of 6 shots. Norgin, the MVP for Sherbrooke, with 410 points, an assist, and 3 saves. As we head now to Game 4, let's see if Post is able to keep their undefeated streak alive. Now, not only are we undefeated in match score, but we are also... Uh-oh, unfortunately, it looks like Kloa disconnected. Hoping he can get back soon here. And he's back in the party. Let's see if he can rejoin the match. Luckily, it happened before anyone really loaded in, before the time started ticking. Okay, he is back. We are good to go. We get all 6 players in the lobby. As I was saying, Post not only undefeated in match win-loss this season in NECC, but they're also undefeated in games. Both the games that we did actually play were 4-0 sweeps, and then, like I said, we had the 2 forfeit wins as well. So Post, perfect so far this season. One more win right now. We'll keep that going. Beautiful cut there by BigSpence. Usually you would rotate back in that situation. That's where he kind of should have, quote unquote, should have gone. But then he saw how awkward the defense was and just cut right in there and was able to get a nice pinch shot in between 2 defenders. And just like that, Post strikes first here in Game 4, really putting the pressure on these Wolves to make something happen on the offensive end. They have yet to score more than 1 goal in any single game so far this series. Oh, good demo, though, by Norgin. That could open the door for something. Charlie gets into the corner and now leaves it for Philu, who's got an angle for a double tap, but there we see a double commit from Post on the defensive end. That could be very dangerous. Kloa and BigSpence have to rotate back to defend, but they do eventually do so. And now Naz cuts in front. Wave dash to catch up to the ball. Tries to get that double light touch off the corner, but just barely missing. That's very difficult to do. Now Kloa to the skies, but Charlie beats him to the ball. That's right down in front, but BigSpence was ready for it. Great positioning, despite having no boost. Don't need any boost to just make a save. When it comes right down on top of your car. We see a great example of that. BigSpence being in the right place at the right time, and now Naz in front with the air dribble, but Philu is there for the save. And now BigSpence can't make contact. That could be dangerous. Naz now forced to win that ball from Sherbrooke's offense. And now Naz once again down to Kloa. Oh, didn't have any boost to catch up to that one, unfortunately. Looking like it was a potential redirect angle for Kloa. So now we see Kloa up to the skies once again, beats both Sherbrooke players. And once again, we see both Philu and Norgin jumping for this one. You see them both in the air right there. That is not what you want. And Kloa beats both of them to the ball and puts it on target. Great speed, great awareness from the Eagles captain. As we are now a little over 3 minutes to play, Post up by 2. Kloa going for that, going very high for that. I think if you guys saw that, that was because he was assuming that the Sherbrooke player would hit the ball and was trying to block their hit. So sometimes you can look like you miss the ball by a lot when you do that if your opponent doesn't actually hit the ball. I think that's what happened right there. But in any case, BigSpence with a clear down to Charlie. Trying to bump him off of it, but can't do so. And Now Naz wisely hangs back, gets a touch. That's going to come straight down, though, for Charlie. It's a bouncer in front of the net, and it's going to go in. And Sherbrooke cuts into the lead. Naz, a pretty awkward position there. Did probably the best touch he could make in that situation. Aside from somehow getting a lighter touch and then turning it around into an air dribble. But your momentum is completely in the wrong direction. So very difficult to do that. And Sherbrooke did a great job taking advantage of the fact that Nazmythh was very awkward in that defensive situation. Norgin, not much boost to work with. That was a dangerous touch, but BigSpence was in position. As once again, longtime viewers of Post University Esports channel may recognize Nazmythh from some of our past seasons. He was on the National Championship winning roster from 2024. Took a few semesters off, but now is back with a vengeance, with 2 new teammates, and certainly making his impact felt on the pitch so far, especially in the NECC season. That one waterfall straight down. A little bit awkward for the Post University defense, but they're able to get there. Nice touch by Norgin to put it in the corner. Nazmythth, good 50 to keep it alive for Post. BigSpence has a double angle. Yes, sir. BigSpence with a big shot here in Game 4. Excellent mid-air adjustment. Spins the car upside down in order to get that angle to shoot it under the defender coming off the sidewall. And that is just what you want to see. If you're a Post University Eagles fan right now, the go-ahead goal with a minute and a half. And now here's Naz trying to style on him with the flip reset, but can't get it. And this ball is coming towards the Post University side, but BigSpence is able to catch up to it. So we see another 50 in front of the box. Can Sherbrooke score more than one? It's looking good. No, Naz with the save on the goal line. And another one. Charlie going for the redirect there. But Kloa is there, and then we see another 50 on the sidewall. Philu hits it coming down, and that's going to be a shot for Charlie, but Kloa with another goal line save for these Eagles as they survive yet another Sherbrooke offensive onslaught. We see Philu trying to get in front of it, trying to get physical once again, but not able to do so. Now here's Norgin. Hits it off his own backboard, still kind of dangerous. Kloa's puts a shot on net, but it's wide. And now it's Sherbrooke's turn on the counterattack. Good touch by Kloa, though, to send it all the way across his own net. And now here's BigSpence, gets it over one, bumps the second, and that's bouncing in, and that may spell victory for Post University with now a 3-goal lead. Beautiful extra touch by BigSpence. Charlie was not expecting that at all. And it gets it past him. And that may do it. We may have another sweep on our hands tonight, folks. Just a matter of time at this point, as barring some crazy heroics from Sherbrooke, and I don't think we're going to see it, as another one bouncing in, this time from Nazmythh, as this will often happen when a team is up more than 1 goal with time ticking down. The other team needs to start committing more and more players to the offensive push. And then what that ends up doing is leaving your net wide open. And then this is why you see a lot of teams that look like they're very closely matched. And they are indeed pretty closely matched when it's a 1-goal affair. But once it becomes a 2+ goal affair, that's when things get dicey. As we see one more goal in there for Sherbrooke. They did end up scoring more than one in a game, as Kloa couldn't quite get down to the ground to redirect that one and get the save. But Post will complete the 4-0 sweep here in the NECC Week 5 and improve to 5-0 on the season, with 2 more matches left here to go in the NECC. So really nice work here by Post University. Unfortunately, I don't think we have any more matches going on right now. Marvel Rivals finished up earlier, I believe, so I don't have anywhere to raid. I think we do still have some college football matches going on, but those matches are not being streamed right now, so good luck to those guys, for those of them that are still playing. But until then, Post with the dub tonight. There we go. You can see it on my camera. I didn't hold high enough. 5-0. Let's keep it rolling. All right, tomorrow, what do we got? We got tomorrow, let's see. Tomorrow, we have Overwatch versus University of Delaware. That's going to be at 8 p.m. on twitch.tv/PushUEsports right here. And then we'll have our Madden Week 5 matchups. Adalde and Zek will be facing off against their opponents. I don't know who they're facing because they haven't released this matchups yet, or at least they did while we were playing. But yeah, make sure to tune in tomorrow. Support the Overwatch team as they take on Delaware. Should be a really good match, and Juggle's an amazing commentator. Hope you see you guys there. All right, that's it for me tonight. Have a good night, everyone.